everyone, and welcome back to Beyond the Label, hosted by the Faithful Minds Initiative. We're looking at a different perspective, looking at the impact of music to individuals with autism. And today we have with us Mr. Isaac Geralds. Hi, thank you for
joining mister. It is so good to be here. Thank you guys so much for having me. First of all, awesome initiative. I love that, people actually take the step out to do more, because I feel like there's a whole community that's not being properly, the light is not properly shared on them. So this is a brilliant initiative and I love it. So I'm glad to be here.
Thank you. So can you give us just an introduction to who you are and what you do?
Okay, so my name is Isaac Geralds. I'm a singer, songwriter. I'm an MC, host. Anything around music and entertainment pretty much is where you find me. But beyond that, I'm an autism advocate, and I like to pretty much lend a voice to the need for music therapy for children living with autism and ADHD and pretty much developmental disabilities. And it's such an important cause to me that I had to. I did the Guinness World Records 2 years ago, 2024, and I sang for 98 hours. And my pretty much my
I didn't
goal.
Even know that.
Yes, she did it. My big goal was pretty much I wanted to shine the light on the need for music therapy for individuals living with autism, and so many other initiatives. Last year, one of the songs we did, because I have like a group of individuals who are really talented, one of the songs that we did was considered for 2 Grammys last year.
Wow.
Right? Yeah, and so for me, inclusion and them being seen is a big part of my project. And so there's too many of these things that I really want to do, get done and all, and I'm excited to be in the space.
Yeah, wow, we have a Grammy nominee with us. That's amazing.
It's more for the kids though. That means
No, honestly, that's amazing. And my next question is, like, do you know anyone with autism? Kind of what was like your push to get into advocating more? So like for me, like, my little brother has autism, so it just made me more want to advocate more, because I saw like that there was a lack of it. So what was your push? So I had interacted with a couple of people. I have 2 nephews who are on the spectrum, right? But beyond that, I've interacted with a couple of them, and truthfully, these kids are some of the smartest kids ever. Take, for example, your brother. He's one of my absolute favorite. How smart he is. You have to do things on his terms. You know what I mean? But the moment he's in that zone, he's there. You know what I mean? And so I'm always excited to spend time with them. Just love on them, because like I always tell, so like when we have classes, my classes are pretty much in 3 steps, right? We do affirmation, we do meditation, and then we have fun, right? So during the affirmation, I always tell them, look, ain't nothing wrong with me. I bring light into the world. It's just reaffirming them to let them know that, look, I need love differently, not like people would, but I need love differently. I don't need fixing. I just need love. You know what I mean? So it's a primary focus for me to be able to shine the light on these individuals, and for the world to see how smart they are, because it was kind of like a big deal when oh my God, how can it's the first time in the history of the Grammys that individuals with autism are actually getting to the level of being considered for 2 Grammys. You know what I mean? And so my goal is to shine the light on that as much as possible, and let people see that, look, these individuals are different, but they're not weird. You know what I mean? Yeah, definitely. So my next question is, with your nephews, you saw like a gap of advocacy and you wanted to fill that gap. What made you, I know you're a musician on your own.
Yeah.
So was there like a moment that you realized that, with music, there's just something deeper there? What was that moment, and how were you able to kind of jump into it and just create a whole academy where you teach kids?
So it's funny that, yes, I knew like my nephews and everything, but the ball moment for me was there was this kid called Camry, and I heard how amazing she sounded when she sang, and I'm like, wait, what? She sounded so good. I'm like, nah, I have to do something about this. And then you just hit me in the head like, hey, because like you said, I have a whole world out there, my music, hosting my events. So in 2026, for example, I'm putting out one album every month. So I'm putting out 120 songs this year. So like I am like book solid between events and putting out albums and doing all these things. There's a whole lot for me, but this for me is like ministry, right? It's like it's like a divine call. Like, oh, look, there's a need here, and I have to, pay attention to it, shine the light on it, and let people pretty much just see what that world could be. You know what I mean? So I would say it's a divine call, and then when it hit, like, just seeing how much these individuals can do by themselves, and just the mind. There's some other kid, he likes to rap, and then the first time in my head I'm like, okay, just do something for me, and in my head I'm like, okay, yeah, it's just gonna be random, but he started to, and I'm like, hold on, you sound good. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous how their minds think, right? So my goal is to shine the light on that and, pretty much help them to see themselves for who they really are.
Yeah. I love that you brought up that, like, for you, it's ministry and it was a divine call because, so I interviewed a speech pathologist yesterday and I asked her, what made you go into this career? And she said the same thing. So for me, I think that, God loves all his children. And I feel like as he sees like some of his kids like in the world have this disability, he sends people out there to shine a light on them, to advocate for them. So I really love that you brought that up.
And you're doing ministry too, believe it or not. Listen, because you don't have to, but you're doing it and you're doing it so well. So yeah, it is.
Yeah, honestly, especially with my brother, particularly with music, I don't know, like, I feel like before he turned 1, like, I just noticed that he just liked songs a lot, and he would play, like, all the different things on YouTube, and then we would try to sing along, and, like, he used to get so mad when we would sing, and then after a while, we realized that we're off-key. We don't sound
like,
good.
You're not sounding good.
There was a time, like, he'll be playing a song and we'll start singing. He will come and like hold your lips.
Like, no, don't do that. You're spoiling it. Ears for music it blows my mind all the time. Like it's crazy. Like I said, it has these moments where I'm trying to teach him something on the keyboard and it's just looking like, nah. But guess what? He goes to sit on the keyboard. He does the exact thing. So it means that he catches things so
quickly. I tell my friends, I can play a song for my brother like 2-3 times, and I'll tell him play it, and he will play it. And when we bought him his piano, it was just kind of like just another thing where like, oh, let him just have it.
Nah.
Because we would go to my uncle's house and he will always like play with it. But when we actually noticed that like he's really like, and we're like, you didn't teach him anything.
He's a genius. I always look forward to working with him. It's such a delight.
So I guess my next question is, how does music help kids with autism express themselves more?
So I tell people that there's communication on an oral level, and then there's communication on music level. Music level is next level, right? Music reaches people in places that words can't reach people. And I'm not trying to be deep or anything, but look, music gets to people in ways that we cannot even imagine. So think about it like this spiritually. Music is what people use to conjure things. They use it to conjure things, both good spirit, bad spirits. They use music to conjure all of that. It's amazing how much coded messages can be carried through the music, right? So we cannot overemphasize or underplay the role of music. Music to autistic kids is, how do I put this? Music to autistic kids is the language that cuts across all of them. Even the ones that, so of course some of them like Adrian will show particular interest and will show exceptional skills and all of that. That's fine. But even the ones who don't, music always gets to them. Like I said, I work with a lot of them, and so the first step when we do the affirmation, meditation and fun, that's for the general group, and then when we identify like talented individuals, we now start to like drill them and train them and all of that. But one thing cuts across all of them, no matter what level of, no matter how high or low you're on the spectrum, music cuts across all of them. So we cannot overemphasize the need for music. Music reaches them in ways that words, care, attention, all of that cannot reach them.
Yeah. So I would say, like, because you do with this on your own, do you think there's a way for like schools to pick this up? and use that to bridge the gap between kids with autism or just special needs kids and other kids?
So I feel like we kind of like what you're doing and what I do and what a couple of other people are doing, the need for enlightenment for music therapy, especially in the real world, is kind of underplayed, and which is why my goal with a lot of things with the Grammys, unfortunately, we didn't get to like nomination and winning the award, obviously, but like just knowing that it was possible. And I remember the day I broke the news to them, all of them, even the ones that were nonverbal, just that excitement, like, yes, we're doing something with our talent. It was unbelievable. So I feel like if we can start to, incorporate that into like the school system and to have like specialized programs. I'm trying to work with the county.
PG?
I'm trying to work with PG County to see how we can start to do some more enlightenment programs and stuff like that, so that we can have specialized programs in as low as the county level that would also be very accessible, because these things, as much as I can do, I am doing, right, even for like free, not necessarily charging in some cases and all, but there's so much more to be done, and we just need to shine that light on it. So if you're out there, if you're listening, if you're watching, and I also try to hit up like a couple of corporate organizations to say, hey, so for example, we're having a summer showcase, right? Where some of the individuals are just going to come out, they're going to, sing, have fun and all of that stuff. It's music for autistic children, by autistic children, right? So those are some of the initiatives we have. And then just about is that some of them, even though like developmental wise, they don't look like adults, some of them are adults. And just knowing that. So I remember, for example, one of the kids, I got her to sing at my Christmas concert 2 years ago, and I actually paid her. And her mom was like, no, you don't need to. She's always so excited to do it. I'm like, ma'am, this money is not for you, it's for her. She needs to see that, look, I'm earning something by just singing this thing I like to do that I'll do for free. I can earn from it. That's the level. She's 21. That's the level of, that's how much we want them to come into their own, to be able to own that space, So some initiatives like that are things that we're trying to put in place, and, support, partnerships and all of that will go a long way.
So my next question, and this wasn't even in the list of questions I wrote.
Gotcha.
What pops into my head is the music industry in general has a bad reputation.
Yes,
I would
does.
say. And usually when people go into music, there's like this fear, like, oh, they're going to sell their soul, blah, 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 blah. So do you think with music, if people with autism, whatever level they are on the spectrum, if they want to go into music, do you think that there would need to be like more laws or like just stipulations in place to protect them, especially because they're more vulnerable?
So I'd say two things, right? First of all, there's good and bad in every industry, not just music, right? And the same way some people have excelled and it's like a flash in the pan, right? The same way some people have stayed for years, right? There's some individuals who probably don't even know they're on the spectrum, right? Because they're like on the very low end, but they're like, oh yeah, no, it's just some developmental. A lot of people that don't even realize that. But all that to say that the need for proper guidance, right? Also the need for, laws to be put in place, not specifically, because again, what I try to do with them is I try not to make them feel weird or make them feel like there's anything, because when they see how you treat them and treat other people, it could be a trigger to some of them, right? So I try not to. So I'm not an advocate for make an extreme thing, but in cases where there are these individuals, right, it's also the part where as human beings, we're expecting that people will be more compassionate towards them, right? For example, I'm doing all this with these kids. There are a lot of things that I don't charge for. There are a lot of things I don't, that even I would incur costs, but I'm like, it's okay. It's my own 2 cents giving back to the society. So I want to believe that there's a humanity where people will be like, oh yeah, no, I'm not looking to exploit these ones. I'm not looking to, of course, when you need to make money or when you need to, put yourself out there, you will. But generally, your goal is to give them a better life, to just put them in that good, frame of mind. So I feel like the more we do, and then the more, I just want one breakout individual to really, really like pop. Once I get one person, I'm good. It's a goal for me, and I believe God that we'll get there soon.
Amen. My next question is, what are some unique strengths that you've seen in children with autism through music that you don't see with other kids?
So first of all, I use your brother for example. That ability to be able to pick things quick, right? Like I said, I'm teaching him something. He's acting like he's not listening. He's acting like he's not listening. He's acting like he's not interested. He doesn't want to be here. By the time I bother him, I'm like, Adrian, I just need you to get this. Just get this for me one time. And then he goes, looks at me, and then he does it. I'm like, so you were listening. They're sharp. You know, they get it. They get things way more than some kids on like their age and all of that stuff there. Because I believe that the natural law of things is that when you lose an ability in a certain area, your other, areas are more strengthened. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I feel like for them, it's that extra thing where they have all the time in the world. All they want to do is watch their iPad or play with whatever toy it is that they want to do. You know what I mean? But when they're actually on a task and they want to do it, they want to be there, they excel at it. So I feel like with individuals who have this special talent, it's, if we can nurture it properly and be patient with them, they will do exceedingly abundantly well.
And I think you bringing up patience is also, it stuck out to me because yesterday, also speaking with the speech pathologist, she was saying that she feels like a trait that is necessary to have when working with kids with autism is patience. So with that, are there any other character traits that you feel like it like 100%
empathy? You totally sometimes, right? It's uncomfortable for me, right? Where you see them, because for some of them, they don't have an understanding of like personal space and barriers and all of that. So you have to be patient with them. So let me say, Isaac, come and see, I did it, and then you're all over me. Sometimes I'm not in the mood. Sometimes I don't even want to be in that space, but I have to. There's the need for empathy to know that, hey, with them, it is what it is, and you just have to be patient. You have to understand. You have to just be in the moment with them. You know what I mean? And I'm glad and grateful that at least in the moment I have like times where it's just, I'm not in that space all the time, right? But for people who are like parents and individuals, parents who have like kids and all of that stuff, I understand how hard it could be. So I always tell parents of individuals, I say, take a break from time to time. You need it because you can't give what you don't have. You know what I mean? So sometimes when you realize that you're running low on energy or your fuse is kind of short, just breathe. You know what I mean? Take a breather. I'm praying that, at least you have a means of getting away and just, clearing your head and all. But you need patience, you need empathy, and look, you need a lot more patience. Because look, they're going to test you, they're going to push you, right? I've had really bad days where some of them are like, and they're the loving, sweet ones, they're just not having it that day. And I'm like, yep, I understand it. It is what it is. Just learning to be patient. Like I said, for me, it's not, I don't see it as a job. I don't see it as, something, another means to make money. I'm glad and grateful for all the other things I got going. But this, like I said, for me is ministry. So it has its good days, it has its not so great days. But I always look forward to spending time with the individuals and just working with them and, creating a life for them.
Yeah, and you have been talking about how it's like ministry to you. Do you feel like your faith plays a role in you doing this?
Of course. So, truth be told, so both my nephews who are on the spectrum, one of them is in London and then the other one is here, but the one here is he's gotten much better over the years, so he's way low on the spectrum. Well, not totally, but like he's way low on the spectrum. He's grown now, he's 15 and all of that. He's integrating little by little. But I feel like this was a God ordained assignment for me. I was going to do the Guinness World Records and I just thought, hey, what can I? And I was praying and I just felt the nudge to say, hey, shine the light on the need for music therapy for kids with autism. And I'm like, okay. I never thought about that. And I started to do my research and all of that. And then I realized that with my nephew, every time he comes around, he's on the keyboard and he wants to do stuff. And so I just interact with him and on a basic level. But then going into this, I now started to do some more research and I said that, hey, okay, actually, that's what it is. It makes sense that, their senses for music are heightened because it's one of the things that actually calms them and helps them to breathe, right? So I realized that, and I'm grateful to be able to, be in that space. And yes, it is very faith dependent, because if it wasn't so much about the faith, or like a belief that I feel like God is calling me to do this at this time, it's not quote unquote financially rewarded. You know what I mean? So it's not something that you be like, oh yeah, it's a job, oh I want to do. For me, it's more like my seed of faith.
Yeah.
And, my own means to give back to this individual. So it does have a lot to do with it. And I pray for all the individuals that I get to work with, that, they get better, they start to improve, they develop, and then, because it's a lot.
It is.
It's a lot on the caregivers, it's a lot on the parents, it's a lot on the relatives of people who are on the spectrum. It could be a lot sometimes.
And it's a lot on the person.
Look, knowing that, because they can see other kids, they can see other individuals.
They know that they're different.
So it's funny that I took my kids to some of our sessions with your brother, and sometimes they'll be like, "Oh, Daddy, can we go to Asia?" I'm like, "No, not today." Aww. Like, just so knowing that they can relate with that, and then they can see and be like, "Oh, we want to go spend time with that." We're trying to get them to integrate into the society, so they don't feel like left out.
And I commend you for like teaching your kids that not everybody is gonna be like.
Not everybody looks like you. Yep.
I will say, especially in the Black community, a lot of people need to do better with the kids.
Yep. There's the stigmatization. I know about it. Trust me. I've taken individuals out, like field trips, so let's just go out, let's just go have fun. It's a thing. There's it is bad. I don't even want to give examples, but yes. And I'm not calling anybody out, but Black people, we need to do much better.
We need to call people out, like, because I feel like it gets to a point where you have no home training, and I blame your parents.
Wow. You went there. Okay.
No, because honestly, like, I literally even tell my friends, even at church, like, sometimes the kids, I'm like, why would you say that? But, you know what? I won't even 100% blame the parents, because they don't know as well. And I think that's why there's
need for education.
A need for stuff like this, to talk about it, so people know. So then they can go back. Because if you don't know about something, you won't know that there's something wrong with what you're doing. But thank you so much. This was a really, really good conversation.
I'm glad I had a good time. Look, again, whoever you are, wherever you are, if you can hear us, I always say, look, it's each one reach one, right? There's the role of the government, there's the role of everybody else, but the real work is in the grassroots, right? If my target is to reach one person, and then the other person's target is to reach one person, we'll find out that there's a lot more we can do together. So, please shine the light. Someone who can help someone. You have access to individuals. These are good shows to sponsor, for example, right? We need to put this out there, do a lot more. It requires a lot of funding, a lot of work. So volunteer, shine the light, do something. It doesn't necessarily have to be you, and, be grateful for what you have. If you're a parent dealing with, or you're a caretaker, please make sure that you're doing your best for these individuals, because they deserve the best, right? So
100% they do.
Yep.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Joining us today, and I hope you guys enjoyed this conversation, we will see you in the next one.
See you next time. Where's my t-shirt? I want my t-shirt.